numbers. So I'll be giving a brief idea first. So first we have the numbers. Numbers we all know. Numbers. Now, since we are humans, we have the tendency to divide things into groups. So similar things we place together. So things having same kind of properties we place together. Then again, the same kind of properties we place them together. We divide them into groups. Similarly, we have divided numbers as well in groups. So first, we divide numbers into two groups, that is real numbers, imaginary numbers. Numbers which are real, numbers which are imaginary. So numbers we are divided into two groups, real numbers, imaginary numbers. Numbers which really exist in nature, Numbers which do not exist in nature, they are imaginary numbers. That is, we can say real numbers, they represent some quantity. Real number will represent some quantity, that is a quantity which can be really represented. So real numbers represent some quantity, whereas imaginary numbers, they cannot represent any quantity. So for example, this real numbers, if we draw the line, if I draw the line, this line, it consists of how many points? Infinite points. So we can say this line consists of infinite numbers. This line consists of infinite numbers. So any number that can be represented on this line or that can be put on this line, these numbers are called as real numbers. These are real numbers. We can quantify these numbers. Whereas imaginary numbers, these numbers cannot be put on number line. These cannot be put on number line. So first we are dividing numbers into real and imaginary numbers. Okay, I give you one example of imaginary numbers. Okay, for example, if 4 is given, where we can take the root of 4, it is
No,
2.
sir.
Why not we cannot take 2
Sir,
plus
we can.
minus 2? Just so this
Yes,
is
sir.
a real number. This is a real number. It can be plus minus 2, or we can simply say, for example, simply we are saying 2. So it's a real number. Now if I take root of minus 4, can we take root of minus 4?
No, sir.
No, this is imaginary number. In nature, no such quantity exists, that is root of minus 4. If I ask you, give me root 4 apples, you can give two apples. But if I ask you, give me root of minus 4 apples, you won't be able to give me that. So these are imaginary numbers. So root of minus 4 is a imaginary number. Or we can simply say root of any negative number. Root of any negative number is a imaginary number. Okay. So these imaginary numbers, they are not in our syllabus. Okay. So real numbers, the numbers which can be represented on a numbered line. Or these numbers exist in nature. This really represents some quantity. They are called as real numbers. So this number line is also called as real number line. As well, this number line is called as real numbers line. Okay. So now further in real numbers, we have divided real numbers again into two groups. That is rational numbers and rational, or they can be irrational. They can be rational, they can be irrational. So numbers which are rational will be putting in this scope, and which are not rational will be putting in the scope. Okay. So what do you mean by rational numbers? So in our syllabus are rational numbers. We'll be discussing rational numbers in detail. So what are rational numbers? So any number that can be expressed in the form of p by q, which can be expressed in the form of p by q. Any number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where, so now we are having two conditions. We'll be having two conditions on this ratio. So any number that can be represented in the form of p by q, where p and q, they must be integers. Any number that can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers.
Teachers.
They are integers. Now the question arises, what are integers? We must know what are integers. Okay.
Sir, all the numbers including positive and negative signs.
No, that's not the complete definition. Something more we have to add. See here, all the numbers if we take, minus 5 by 2 if I take, is it an integer? No, it's not an integer. So integers, see here. If I write 0, 0 is an integer. Now I'm moving on the positive side first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to infinity. These are integers. So from 1 to infinity, these are positive integers. These are positive integers. 0 is an integer. Whereas in negative side, also we have the negative integers. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 up to minus infinity. So these numbers are integers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to infinity, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 up to minus infinity. These are called as integers. These are called as integers. So now back to the definition, rational number is can be expressed in the form of a P by Q form. They can be expressed P by Q form in the form of ratio P and Q, where P and Q must be integers. They must be integers. This is first condition. Second condition, denominator. What is denominator? Q.
Q.
Q is the denominator. Q is the divisor. Q, it must not be equal to 0. It must not be 0. These are the two conditions that must be satisfied. Okay. Now we take this some examples we take. Okay. So for example, I am taking first 2 by 5. Now we have to see whether 2 by 5 is a rational number or not. 2 by 5 is a rational number or not. So
Yes,
see, first check whether it can be represented in the form of P by Q. Yes, it is represented in the form of P by Q. Where are 2 and 5? Are they integers? 2 and 5. Are they integers?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they are integers. First condition satisfied. First condition is satisfied. Now check the second one. What is Q here?
5.
5. Is 5 equal to 0 or not equal to 0?
Not
Equal to 0. Therefore, both conditions are satisfied. And we can say 2 by 5 is a rational number. It's a rational number. Okay. I'm giving you one example more. 2. Is 2 a rational number? Can we represent 2 in the form of P by Q?
No, sir.
Why no? Okay, can I write 2? Can I represent 2 as 2 by 1?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, I can write. 2 can be written as 2 by 1. So you can see it can be represented in the form of P by Q.
P by Q.
2 and 1. Are they integers?
Yes, sir. Because 1 is not equal to 0.
1 minute. First condition satisfied. Both are integers. And 1 not equal to 0. Second condition is also satisfied. So 2 is a rational number. We can represent 2 in the form of P by Q form. That is 2 by 1. So 2 and 1 both are integers and 1 not equal to 0. Okay, so in mathematics, if you have got doubt, ask immediately. The moment you get the doubt, ask immediately. Okay, don't wait for me to complete. In mathematics, whenever the doubt arises, ask immediately. Okay, don't wait for me to complete the things. Okay, now I give you one more question. Okay, is 0 a rational number? Is 0 a rational number?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone saying yes, sir? If 0 is a rational number, can it be represented in the form of P by Q?
0 by 1.
0
And sir,
by
1 is not.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
It can be also written as 0 by 13. It can also be written as 0 by minus 12. It can be written in any form. So P by Q, P by Q, P by Q. We can write 0 as 0 by 1, 0 by 13, 0 divided by any number, that is, and denominator should not be equal to 0. So we can simply write, for example, 0 by 1 we are writing. Okay. 0 can 0 be written as 0 by 1?
Yes,
We
sir.
can write. Yes.
Yes,
Where
sir.
0 and 1 are the integers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Both are integers. And denominator C, 1 is not equal to 0. Are both the conditions
0.
satisfied?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, we can say 0 is a rational number.
Rational number.
0 is a rational number. So any number that can be represented in the form of P by Q, that can be expressed as P by Q form, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. Okay. Okay, I give you one more. 0.5.
Sir, this is
Point.
not. Sir, because
Okay.
this is decimal number.
Okay. Can the decimal number be represented in form of in fraction? Can be represented 0.5?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Why no?
Sir, 5 upon 10.
5 upon 10. Can we simplify it further?
Yes, sir. 1 upon 2.
1 upon 2. You can check here as well. 5 and 10 both are integers and 10 not equal to 0. Or 1 and 2 both are integers and 2 not equal to 0. So is it a rational number?
Yes, sir.
It is a rational number. We are just representing number in fraction. Number remains same. We are just represented in fraction. So the definition of rational number is, you have to remember only this much. That is, any number that can be represented in the form of P by Q, where
P
P
by
and
Q.
Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. That is, denominator should not be equal to 0. Denominator should not be equal to 0. These two conditions we have to always remember. So this is the definition of rational number. So any number that satisfies this definition is a rational number. So this is the basic thing we must always remember. Anywhere you apply, this always applies. Okay. Now you understood rational numbers. What are rational numbers? So in book C here, example,
Yes, sir.
all fractions are rational numbers. All fraction, yes. So what we can say about rational numbers? All fractions are rational numbers. Take any fraction, 5 upon 12, 7 upon minus 13, minus 2 upon 5, or minus 12 upon minus 13. These all are rational numbers. So any fraction, all fractions are rational numbers. All fractions are rational numbers. You can see they can be represented in P by Q form, where denominator is not equal to 0, Q not equal to 0. So all fractions are rational numbers. Are all natural numbers real numbers, or are all natural numbers rational numbers?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all natural numbers are rational numbers. So what are natural numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. These are natural numbers and all are rational numbers. You can see 1 can be represented as 1 by 1, 2, 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1. Whereas denominator is not equal to 0. So all natural numbers are rational numbers.
Rational
And
number.
this 0 is a rational number that we have discussed. 0 can be represented as 0 by 1 or 0 by minus 1, 0 by plus minus 2, 0 by plus minus 3. We can represent 0 in any of these fractions. And 0 is a rational number. and all integers are rational numbers. You can check as well, 0 up to infinity, -1 up to infinity. So all integers are as well rational numbers. All integers are rational numbers. 0 by 1, 1 by 1, divide all by 1, and we can represent that in the form of P by Q, where P and Q both are integers and Q not equal to 0. Okay. Now there's one more thing, all terminating and recurring. Okay. This point you leave for time being. We'll be discussing it in detail after 1 or 2 lectures. So we'll be discussing regarding decimal numbers. That is decimal numbers which are terminating. Okay, I discussed it now. We can discuss it again afterwards as well. For example, 0.5. All the decimal numbers which are terminating. Is it terminating? See here. Is it terminating? There is no more numbers, decimal numbers. Or if I take, okay, some other number there. Is it terminating? See here, 0.5, no further numbers. So it's a rational number. Or 0.321, 321, 321. Is it recurring?
Yes, sir.
See here, 321, again repeating. Or 0.6666666. So see here, a decimal number which is either terminating or recurring, that is repeating. Here you can see 6 is the repeating factor. 6 is repeating again and again. So we can write it as 0.6 bar. So any decimal number that is either terminating, that is only few digits are there after decimals, or it is recurring, that is repeating. Here 321 is repeating again and again. Here 6 is repeating, or 0.5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So here you can see 6 is repeating now. So any decimal number which is terminating or recurring, those decimal numbers are called as
Rational numbers.
Whereas the rational number which do not terminate. So for example, 0.42857142866, it is continuously going. Now you can see it is never ending. It is never ending. So it is non-terminating. It is non-terminating. It is non-terminating as well. It is non-recurring. That is, it is non-repeating. Such numbers are irrational numbers. Here you can see this is terminating. These are non-terminating. But in non-terminating, these are what kind of numbers? These are recurring, that is repeating. So how we are going to check any decimal number as rational number? So first you have to check whether it is terminating or non-terminating. So first we'll be checking whether it is terminating or non-terminating. So if number is given 0.75, so check whether it is terminating or non-terminating. Is it terminating or not? It is terminating. So we have to say, as this decimal number is terminating, therefore this is a rational number. Okay. Now, for example, this number is given 0.6666. So first we will check whether it is a terminating or non-terminating.
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 Okay. When non-terminating, we have to check. We have to again check. If it is a non-terminating, we have to again check whether it is recurring or not, whether it is repeating or not. Recurring or repeating. So if it is recurring or repeating, we can say that the decimal number is a rational number. Okay. Or now check whether this is terminating or non-terminating.
Non-terminating.
Non-terminating. Okay. If it is non-terminating, now we have to check whether it is recurring or not recurring. Non-recurring. Non-recurring, not recurring. Therefore, this number is a irrational number. Therefore, this decimal number is a irrational number. Okay. So for decimal number, what we will check? First, we check if it is terminating or non-terminating. If it is terminating, we can simply say that is a rational number. If it is non-terminating, then we will check whether it is recurring or non-recurring. Okay. Any doubt?
What is non-terminating?
No, sir.
What is non-terminating? See here, after decimal point, for example, we are dividing two numbers. Okay, for example, you divide 3 by 7. The division will never end. The division will never end. You will keep on dividing, it will never end. That means non-terminating. It is not terminating. Terminating means stops. After some time, the division stops. After some time, the division stops. So, understood now?
Yes, sir.
For example, 1 divided by 2. Yes. If you divide 1 by 2, 1 divided by 2, it is less. So we'll put a decimal point, 10.5, 2 5s are 10, 0. So see here it terminated here, we got 0.5. If you divide 3 by 7, it will never end. You keep on dividing, you can keep on dividing. That is non-terminating. It will never terminate. Here as well, non-terminating. So for rational number, what we are going to check? First, check whether it is a terminating or non-terminating. If it is terminating, that means we can simply say that number is a rational number. If it is non-terminating, then we have to check again whether it is recurring or not. If it is recurring, then we can say it is a rational number. If it is not recurring, we will say that that number is not a rational number. So a decimal number which is non-terminating, non-recurring, that number will be irrational number. So see here, first one, terminating. It is a rational number. So rational number we denote with Q. Non-terminating. In non-terminating, the recurring ones, they are rational numbers. Whereas non-recurring, they are not rational numbers.
Irrational.
They are irrational numbers. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see here, irrational numbers, root of 2. You take the root of 2, it will never end. You can check in calculator as well. After some time, it solves in calculator, but in reality, it keeps on going. Root of -3, it is a irrational number. Or the pi number. Pi, it's a irrational number. You have taken the value of pi as 22/7. That is just approximate value. That is approximate value of. So, but in reality, pi never ends. Pi is a irrational number. This is approximate value we are taking. In mathematics for calculation, we are taking approximate value. Understood now? Okay.
Yes,
Now we discuss whether the two rational numbers are equal or not. Equivalent or equal numbers. Rational numbers. Sorry. So for example, two rational numbers are given. A by B, C by D. how we can, so we have to check whether these two rational numbers are equal or equivalent. So we have to check whether these two rational numbers are equal. How we are going to check? So see here, if they are equal, this will hold true. If they are equal, this will hold true, or we can cross multiply this one. This means A into D equal to B into D. So if this condition holds true, then these two rational numbers are equal. For example, it is given. Yes.
Sir, sir, that is B into C.
B into C, yes. B into C. Thank you. If this condition holds true, then these two rational numbers are equal. Okay, for example, the numbers are given 2 by 3 and 4 by 6. Check whether these two rational numbers are equal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, here you can see as well. Now see how to do. Multiply numerator and denominator. 2 into 6. Here, 3 into 4. Is it equal? Yes. Therefore, these two rational numbers are equal. Here as well, you have seen one thing. If it is given 2 by 3. If we multiply and divide the numbers, if we multiply and divide the numerator by the same number, the number does not change. So if I am multiplying the numerator by 2, as well I am multiplying the denominator by 2, we are getting 4 by 6. These two numbers are equal. 2 by 3 is same as 4 by 6. They are same numbers. I am just representing the number in different form. So if we are dividing the numerator and denominator, or we are multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same number, the number does not change. Okay. So for example, 4 by 6. We are dividing both by a number. Okay. It should be non-zero number. So 2 by 3. The number does not change. Okay. This we have done in earlier classes as well, smaller classes. If we divide the number, numerator and denominator, by the same number, or we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, the number does not change. This is clear? Okay, any more? Standard form equivalent is we discussed standard form. So see here, standard form. We have seen the numbers, for example, 2 by 3 or minus 2 by 3. 1 minute, 2 by 3 or 2 upon minus 3 minus 2 by 3. Okay. So what will be the standard form here? Which will be the standard form? Or 4 by 6 minus. See here, these all numbers are same numbers. So any fraction, if we have to represent in standard form will be this one. If, for example, a number is given 4 upon minus 6, represent this number in standard form. So how we are going to represent? Negative sign must be in numerator. So first, negative sign here. Now, is there any common factor? 2 is the common factor.
Sir,
So
2.
we can divide numerator and denominator by 2. 2 by 3. So in standard form, negative number is with the negative sign is with the numerator. Standard form, the negative sign is with the numerator, and there must not be any common factor between numerator and denominator. There must not be any common factor. So we have simplified them. They are prime numbers. 2 and 3, they are co-prime numbers. So negative sign, it must be with numerator. So any number that is provided with you, for example, 2 upon minus 3. So while we'll be operating on these numbers, first convert this into standard form, that is minus 2 by 3. Negative sign always with numerator. The number does not change, it's same only, same quantity represents. Negative sign with all should always be with numerator. Numerator, okay. So this is our standard form. Or if any common is there, cancel them out. This is the most simplified form we can represent. 2 and 3, they must be co-primes. There must not be any common factor with them. So it's easy to operate now. Okay. So operations we'll discuss tomorrow. We'll be operating on rational numbers. What are the operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Those are all are the operations. Okay. So today time's up, 9:20. So any doubt till now?
No,
So
sir.
today,
No, sir.
okay, after 2 or 3 classes we'll be little bit fast. Okay, we'll increase our pace. I'll be slow for these 2-3 days. So tomorrow we'll be doing the operations on rational numbers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you.